We are. Okay. We are officially live.
Oh wow, we did it.
Yes. Yes. So this is our first experience doing Substack Lives. I am so excited to be starting this series or however long it goes. And even just today, it was, we're going to turn this into a podcast too. I mean, why not? So
Why not?
I am so thankful that you're here. This is Jen. So first off, my name is Kelly Crotty. I'll go through a little spiel about me, and then we can let you give your little spiel about you. And then we'll get into like the nitty gritty of it all. So my Substack is Grounded Growth Collective. And then this series is called Rooted in Season, which is really exciting for me to start this all. But we are, um, the reason I'm here is that I have a business. So I live in the Cleveland, Ohio area. I am a garden consultant where I focus on raised bed kitchen gardens. I am out in my garden right now. There could be some background noise and whatnot. So in the essence of it all, it's teaching people about seasonality, though. It is teaching people about growing their own food. So I offer custom installations. I offer custom planting days. I have a lot of great clients throughout the Northeastern Ohio. I've been featured on several news outlets. So a lot of people turn to me as this kind of really just different idea of how to grow food and when to grow food. It's what I really teach people about. But with that being said, the call has been there for a few years now of there's more, you want more, your soul is craving more. So the term, if you're here for gardening, that's not going anywhere. That's the cool thing. We're just going to expand a little bit further, and that's where people get to know me a little bit better over here on Substack. And the reason why Jen and I know one another is because we are both inside an amazing community, Ignite Her University from Julie Ciardi. She has become not only our business mentor, but then also the lovely world of human design, which we're going to dive into that as well. But a little bit about my business. I do have a lot of great resources available. So if you're new here to Substack and you subscribe to me, awesome. I will say you do get this. This has always been my like cool giveaway. You don't get this printed, but you can digitally download it. So it's Let's Get Growing, an introduction to growing seasonal food. So it really, again, dives into understanding what food grows within what season. But again, I'm here for so much more. I do also have some paid tiers as well, a monthly one, a yearly one, and then like a really big jump up one, not big jump up, but where you get a lot more involvement with that. And that is the seed plan. So that's like the smaller one. And then the bloom plan, which is the bigger one. I've already got some members in both, and it's going to be lives in my garden. We're going to do Q&As, but there's already a whole library of resources that I've done in the past that are carrying over as well. And the newest one this year for the Bloom members it's called an Intensive Planting Companion Guide, or Garden Companion, I should say. My teaching style and not only teaching, but like my planting style is called intensive planting. So a lot of people have heard of square foot gardening. I go way beyond that. So we're growing in small spaces. So we take advantage of vertical things. I have an arch there. I have trellises, obelisks. So you're really taking advantage of each inch within your bed. We're not doing farming. We're not doing row gardening. We're packing it all into raised beds. So again, that's what I teach. But part of what I'm coming over here for is to layer in other things. So after Jen gets through her introduction, we actually both have 2 celebrations to do, I believe. I've got one and she's got one, so we're going to share that with you. So that's where I'm at. Jen, take it on over for you. Then we'll get into more nitty gritty.
I liked listening to you. I'm like me and my little bundle of nerves. I'm just like I can sit over here and listen.
But you're part of it. Yeah.
I am. Well, I'm Jen Buell, and I'm here for the woman feeling that 40s shakeup and beyond, and the one that's built the life, the career, the business, and feels capable on the outside, but disconnected from the inside. And through Find Your Frequency here on Substack, I use the new human design to ignite awareness, build self-trust, so they get that clarity to take aligned action and tune back into themselves. And if this resonates with anyone that watches this now or later, please come on over, subscribe for free, or join my brand new resonance room where we dive in deeper. Mine's super simple. I made mine like, I'm just going to think about it. And like, otherwise I'll just chat.
And that's what we're going to get into. So I did promise with these,
Yeah.
we're just going to have real life conversations.
Yeah.
But a couple of really fun things to point out before we even get into that too is Jen and I talked beforehand and we discovered our birthdays are a day apart. Wow. So for her to be my first guest, and I'm just going to point it out, my birthday is in exactly 2 weeks. Or no, yesterday was 2 weeks, July 21st. So I am still a Cancer. That's the astrology part of me. So I am into astrology as well and human design and then a few other things too. But yeah, we discovered we're a year, or a day apart. I don't know your age, but I'm in the middle mess of my 40s as well. So I will be turning 44. I am 44 already, so that's okay. Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm July 22nd. I'm going to be 43 this year.
Okay.
I think. Hang on.
Yeah, I had yours.
I don't do math. I don't like to know my name. I'm like, is it 43? Yes, it is.
What year were you born?
83.
Then yes, 40. Yes, where I was 82. So there, I did the math for you. Look at that, and I don't do math either. So
you're amazing.
So how cool! Like I just feel like this is where the universe comes in. Is like, here you go. This is awesome. So for Jen to be the first one on the first live, and so before we get into like the really cool connections, what are we both celebrating? So I'll start with part of why I'm here too is I'm expanding beyond, again, just gardening and gardening consulting. Over the past, is it 6 months now? Maybe 5 months. I have been studying to get my herbalism certification, which I did. So I am diving more into the usage of herbs, making things. I'm never going to be selling products. I'm not trying to get into like the clinical aspect of it. I'm not going to have a shop, but I am last year through some tough times, but it was great. The outcome, I redid my basement, and in my basement is now going to become my home apothecary. So I already have herbs that are hanging. I envision jars and really cool things to just make. And it's hard because I want instant gratification with all this stuff. And well, hi, seasonality. It teaches me like slow your roll, slow down. But that is a celebration of mine, is that I now have my certification in herbalism. So now if you ask me all the specifics, I'd be like, I don't know, I got to go back to that. But I'm growing some great additional herbs that I've never grown before this year. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
That's I'm fist bumping. Boom.
Thank you.
That's awesome to celebrate. You have to celebrate everything because it takes effort. Yeah. So why not celebrate your efforts? I think that's amazing. I know my little celebration, I joined the Ignite community and I decided to get certified in human design, the new human design from our mentor. And that's something that I have been told by many people, a lot of them would take a couple of months to even like a year is what they always say. And I am a go-getter. I tend to be like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get it. And I decided this time, I'm like, nope, I'm just going to wait until they do some of the trainings. And a week later, we had a massive storm. And I was like, I got some time. I'm going to look into it. And I started the certification process. By the end of the weekend, I had all the modules done because I was lit up. I did all the tests and everything. And then I decided to take my time and do the project. And that is work. That is work.
Yeah.
Forewarned, that is work.
Yeah. I will be doing that. I'm not there yet, guys. There's the preamble on that one. Yeah.
You have to kind of feel it out and don't rush yourself. Like I went in with an open heart and I was going to take my time, and I fell into bad habits about midway through where I put a deadline on myself when I didn't need to, because I'm used to that. We're taught that, And I came down to like the night before my deadline. I was like up here of just like, I couldn't do it. And I realized I needed to stop, that I had to take that pressure off. And so within 4 days after that, I had my entire project done. I had the keynoting done. I had everything done and handed in. I joined in the middle of May, and by June 8th, I had everything handed in.
Wow.
And I just found out yesterday that I got certified. So
congratulations.
That's
awesome.
my little thing.
Yes, and I will be getting there. I more have to wait on who the other of the project is. I know the one will be my brother, and the other one is either his business partner or his wife. But then if it's his wife, that entails the kids as well. And I'm like, I don't know yet. So we're kind of feeling out which is going to be best. And, also forewarning, if there's background noise, guys, I am live. I live in an actual neighborhood of Cleveland. So I live by the airport. There's planes that take off. There's a neighbor that has a saw going, so who knows what's in the background. Not great for podcasts, but oh well, when you're watching videos, it's fine.
It's not bad. I'll let you know it's not bad. I'll tell you. I'll be like,
and if it happens, it happens. Oh well, too bad. I just pause. So all right, here's the really fun part, and we're going to get into it as far as human design. So if you're watching this and you're like, Kelly, I follow you for gardening. Like, what are you talking about? So human design is something that I was not called to per se, but I was introduced to it right when I turned 40. So again, a lot of you that might listen are going to go, oh, this might resonate because there's a breakthrough that happens in your 40s. I mean, the generic term is midlife crisis, but it's not a crisis whatsoever.
Shake up. It's a shake up.
Awakening. And I am not kidding when I say, so my birthday's coming up. It was like 3 months before my 40th birthday when this like light bulb went off, or some door like slammed in my brain or my soul or something, or opened. I don't know. And it was like the calling for more, and the awakening started. I did some beautiful journey work with a healer, and she introduced me to the very basics of human design. So Jen and I will probably use terms that are both interchangeable with standard human design, and then what we have inside of our community, which are the Ignite Her frequencies. And what Jen and I found out is that, I am in normal human design. I mean, I am a generator. So we call that builder. And then my profile is a 2-4. And you are, again?
A 4-6.
Okay. What is your type? What are you? Are you
a generator? I'm a generator as well. I'm a builder.
Builder. Yeah. Okay. So I love it. Julie gives like a little softer terms to everything. And it's, because the origination is quite manly, masculine, and we're shifting away from that. But Jen and I found out that we share the exact same core 4. I was like, wait, what? And am I correct in saying your core 4 is like 70% of like the energy you're carrying with you on a daily basis? So
yes, it is 70% of who you be.
Who you be, exactly. And again, like anyone who's new to human design or have not heard of it, it is based off of the 64 energies or energy types within the I Ching, which is an ancient text that's over 3,000 years old. Ra Uru Hu kind of like put it into paper 40 some years ago, and Richard Rudd with the Gene Keys as well. So it's been there, it's been out there, but it's still a very kind of new thing that people are finding about. It is based in ancient energy, and we all know energy never stops, never starts. And then there is some astrology based to it. But what I love is it's the blueprint of your life. Like it never changes. You can take a personality test and those can be great, but your answers are going to change throughout time. But your human design will never change. And the sooner you're able to align with it, the easier life gets. But also you got to work through what we're in the 40s and the messy middle, the nitty gritty stuff. So I'm going to throw it to you. Like when we found this out, we read it because I had done a post about it and like it clicked, but it didn't quite click. And then we discovered this again during our pre-call. Like what hit you the hardest with that? And like talking to me, like, where do you feel, because you're now certified and probably have a little bit more of a layer of understanding with it, like, where do you think that has aligned, or that you see the similarities? I mean, if anything like that.
Well, there's a lot, and I know I'm sitting here and I'm like, are you sure you're not certified? No. Like, your retention is amazing. I have amazing book smarts. It's me doing the going through with people that it really nails in. That's how I learn.
Okay.
So I will fumble because there's so much, and unless it's triggered just the right way,
Yeah.
I need like notes. But I know when you and I were speaking yesterday, we were just kind of touching on profile and stuff. And everybody has their own method to do stuff. And I was a 4-6. When I first came to it, I agreed with part of it, which kind of is normal for a lot of people that are just finding out about human design. I happen to be open-minded about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I can come in and be like, okay, I'll listen, And I worked on it. Something just kept pulling me back, just the way that we were learning. It's not traditional human design, which is that's what got me. It was practical, simple. It had layers of like, I hate to, but it wakes you. It wakes something up as you read it and as you revisit it. And I know I talk about like the awareness. Well, you have to start with awareness. It's not until you actually start looking at yours that you're going to be like, okay, oh, that's me. And then there's going to be parts where you're like, no. I have parts like that. It took me a year. I told you, like I had that thing last year. I was in it and then I got disconnected, and then it had to unfold in its own time. There's times where you can read it, but you have to revisit it, because you're not going to be the same person tomorrow or a week from now than when you first read it. And certain things you may disagree with, but when you actually allow yourself to absorb it, to observe what you're learning, it just opens up. Like mine, for example, is the networker, and it's also the role model. And so the word network is just cringe for me. It's cringe.
Yeah.
No.
We all have those.
I did years doing networking in my early years of being an entrepreneur. It cringe. But
I love the word cringe, so we could use that as much as we want. So
I mean, I literally get goosebumps, like the cringy kind when I anyways. But when I did it, I disconnected from the networker. I didn't like that verb or that term. And it ended up that I started just looking at my life. Best way to do it. Let's look backwards. And when I sat like this with someone, when I went out at a coffee shop or something and somebody happened to like come near me and start chatting, I would naturally talk with them and have lively conversations. And that's networking as well. Yes. So there's no wrong way. It means something different for each person. So that networking part, when you find your avenue where it resonates with you, you start connecting more. Yeah. And then the 6 is the role model. So in the first 30 years, we're all like trial and error. That's like boom, boom. And then now in our 40s cycle, that's why I say the shake up, because it's not a crisis. It's a recalibration. And it's just, we're feeling if we're not right. We're feeling that something isn't right, that there's something more. And now, because we happen to have some of the awareness that we got into this, we can start reflecting on it, observing, testing, trying, and evolving. And that works me towards my role model, the 6, which is going to hit me in about around my 50s, they say, because it's going to take all of this time to build up that rapport, to build up the lessons that some of them, I just want my little helmet. I don't have it here. I joked about my helmet. I'm like, I was going to bring it. I'm ready. But that's part of the 4-6, and it's amazing. And it's only when you start to go through it that things start to click. And when you and I talked yesterday and we were talking about the profiles and our little stories, And then when we found out about the core four, like I remember my brain literally just, it broke.
Yeah.
Because you told me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a 5660, and I know these are all numbers to people, but when you actually start working on them and looking into them, when you start reading it, you start connecting, and it comes out. And just meeting another person that had the same core four, I couldn't.
And not just core four, like exact, like
Yeah,
our brilliance, like it's
in
exact.
the order.
Our conscious and our unconscious, they are exactly the same. I'm not sure we'll ever find that again. We really do need to probably repost that within the Ignite community, like, ladies.
The only thing that's different is our line quality, the flavor of how we show up.
Yeah.
But it's also a prime example of, you're in this gorgeous garden and you can build this lovely food, and I'm in an office behind a desk because I don't like bugs. And I love food and I love to eat food. But I'm like, we have our little differences, the structure and all the stuff, and the freedom and the flexibility. But I mean, we're so similar. I kept saying, I'm like, I can't believe how much we have in common.
No. And geographically, we don't live that far apart. Although if anybody catches us over in Europe, they'll be like, that's far, but we're probably us here over in the, we have that that Lake Erie thing in the way, basically. Otherwise it'd be a much quicker drive because you got to come down through Buffalo and then come over rather than just cutting over. But
up in near Toronto. I'm up near the Toronto in Ontario, but it's like there's no distance. Like you hop on here and it's like,
no, and that's the beautiful part of this community. Yeah. So she was explaining 4-6. I'm a 2-4, which is the natural influencer. And I resonate with that very, very well. If anything, there's a couple of my core four. Honestly, my actual life's purpose, my sun brilliance, is one that I've kind of struggled with a little bit. And I'm like, is that really me? But again, like, it never changes. It's how you let it layer in and the acceptance. And, I think with this work too, I am somebody who was already doing a lot of work, like a lot of soul diving, a lot of meditations. I've done past life regressions. I've done self-hypnotherapy where I have ended up in some really cool places. But there's only a certain amount of people you can talk about that to before they're like, you cray cray? I'm like, probably a little bit. Cool. Welcome.
Talk to me anytime.
Yeah. Again, I'm literally building an apothecary in my basement, so call me what you want on that. So it's, but I resonate very strong with my 2-4. So like my 2 means, and again, for people that don't know this, like those first 2 numbers, it's the 2 for me and the 4 for you is like more like how you see yourself. And then the second number is kind of how the world sees you. When it comes to astrology, that's your sun sign is, and we're actually both Cancers, is like how you see yourself. And then your rising sign, which I'm Aries. Jen doesn't know what she is yet. She'll find it out.
I'll have to ask my friend Mel.
Yeah, I dove pretty deep into my astrology this year as well. But your rising sign is kind of, again, how the world views you. Like if you walk into a room, this is how they're going to view you, kind of thing. Again, basic understanding of that, and people are allowed to interpret it how they want. But I see that, so my 2-4 resonates very well with 2 being like someone who is an introverted person, and like right now, y'all are seeing the 4, and you're seeing the Aries side of me. You're seeing the person that lights up in a setting where I'm having deep, meaningful conversation. And so it's always interesting to like see how I have found some really cool resonance with like astrology, true astrology, and then human design as well. There are connections to it. But I also, you had brought up how where we're shifting to, and a lot of the women in our community are in their 50s. And they're like, I can't wait to get there. Like, I'm not hurrying it up. Like, I want to go through this messy middle, but I'm also like, oh, it's going to be so cool. But I think we were saying this yesterday, like the fact that we're already so aware of what we can step into and continue to step into. You were saying things too where like naturally you were already doing these things. Well, now it has a name. And it's really cool when you're like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, no wonder why I've always been like that.
Exactly. It's so interesting without the language. And then that's what's so validating when you start to look at this and read it. Because it's not like in traditional scopes, and I know it's going to ruffle feathers, but in traditional scopes, they kind of tell you who you are and how you show up and how you need to act. And there's a lot to that. And there's nothing wrong with that belief system. But we're going into a new era where it's empowering the individual. And I know like you and I are you going on Thursday?
Oh, I'm totally geeking out.
Okay, yeah.
I have my new era. I printed it already. I'll be sitting down with it after this with my I will have hot tea tonight. Yes. Yeah. I will not be watching Netflix tonight. I will be diving through my new report.
I'm going to be doing mine after. I was so in my head before this because, as you know, like this is my first one. So I'm like, oh, dear God. Yeah. So I needed to just be in Zen mode before I came in. But when we're done this, I'm going to print it off because I want to read it. I want to see it. But we are going in this new era and utilizing the new human design. It pulls in, it's a different copy. Like Ra Uru says that you're not supposed to parrot him to make your own. And that's what our mentor did. Like she took human design and she took gene keys. She took frequencies from David Hawkins and she just interpreted it and made it easy English. Bless you. She made it. That's okay. That's why I'm hiding in the house. But she did all of this so that, you know, we can empower other women and help them because you don't need a thesaurus. You don't need a dictionary. And when you learn about yourself and when you have some guidance from somebody that can help you, it opens doors for all the things. You don't have to be starting a business, but if you do, there's stuff in there. Yeah. There's like who your people are, how you're meant to show up. And you have the choice to do it or not. Like nobody can tell you to do it. But when you actually have an outline, it gives you something to be like, okay, this connects with me now, and I'm learning this now. And you look at your past and the validation, being seen, the permission for yourself to do all that. It's next level. And my poor friend, I know she's here. I see her down there.
I was just about to say, welcome to, we didn't know if anybody would show up. So I'm really excited there's a couple of you here. So thank you.
Exactly. Thank you. But my friend and I were chatting the other day because I am very introverted. And that was another thing that I disconnected with my profile because the 4-6 is out there and networking. And I'm like, no. I just take my little coffee over here and I'll stay quiet.
You are a Cancer. And Cancerians are very like homey.
Yes.
Like so that's where I don't want to cut you off on that, but like it's an all. It's not a one. No. And it's an and. It's whatever else you want to look into and think, believe, whatever it all works in. And also environment, meaning like where you've lived, how you've lived, parents, siblings. I'm sorry, but that's always going to affect us too. There isn't a psychologist out there that would disagree. And it's so cool to have another and then. Yes. And another layer. And that was a huge calling for me to come into this community because again, I love what I do. I've been doing it for 8 years. It has been lucrative in many ways. Hello, COVID. Like I blew up thanks to COVID, like in a great way. You know, but then times change and things change and I wasn't adapting quick enough. And I really was just in this like stumble block of I'm doing the things and none of them are working. And why? Because I'm in that old era, that bro code. My brother would love to hear me say that.
Hustle culture.
Yeah. And I knew I needed a community again. Like I had a community a few years ago that was great, but then some misalignments happened. And I was like, I need to get away from this. And I took Julie's masterclass and I was hooked because human design is fascinating to me, and we can talk about it on end. But we also, most of us within there are entrepreneurs and either have a business or are starting a business or are layering in new aspects of the business. So that's what I say to the people that watch this and are here. I'm not going away from gardening consulting. I'm just, and then. What's the and then and more? Because I know I'm called to do more. And
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that I had that soul awakening to realize that. So I'm going to call out one of our guests right now. Christine is here, and we're going to chit chat sometime soon too, because she's doing amazing things with regenerative agriculture. And she and I had a call once where I was like, this is just so cool. It is so cool what all of us women are doing. Predominantly, United States, North America, but there are women from all over the world that are in our community. And that's the beauty of online communities that are wholehearted. They have good roots, good structure, because you can then make connections like this. And while we're talking through a screen, I literally feel like I'm sitting out in my garden with a friend.
Yes.
And we've only just met, and it's that, but I'm also so glad that I've found that. And and it's only a few months in, like we're literally not even 2 months into this community. And I'm like, the connections I've already made, the chats I've already had, like the things I'm reading, the things I'm learning. And I joined literally the masterclass, and joining was at the height of my busy season. And I was in my ego era going, what are you doing, Kelly? Like, this is insane. Like, how, I remembered, like, there was a point of like 2 to 3 weeks where I felt like I had done 12 weeks worth of work in that span. But I was so, being a generator, I was so lit up. I was like, I can do this forever. Well, I couldn't. I definitely crashed and burned after.
You have to learn your flow. I'm
so guilty of that as a generator. There are days where I am like, go, 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 go. And I'm so happy. And then I go to fall asleep at night. And then, like the premenopausal hormonal shift is like, now you can't fall asleep.
The conversations all night where you're sitting there, I got to do this and this and this. Yeah.
Or like, I've been on my feet all day and now my legs hurt. Like I have achy leg just because I've done too much. But
get a grounding mat.
But then I do sleep well, and I wake up the next day because literally all the energy that I was meant to use was used, and the cup runneth over.
Yes.
And it's back, and it's beautiful. So it's I want the world to know about this. Like, I want everybody.
Yes.
That was a question I wanted to pose. Like, I'd love to know, like, to me, because I've been introduced to human design so many years, not so many, but several years ago, like it fills my Instagram feed already. Now I'm stepping away from Instagram, but like, it's not brand new to me. Whereas I was talking to my brother and he was like, I don't know anybody that's ever heard of this. And I'm like, really? He's like, no. And he is in high network, high level professionals. And I'm like, great, then let's get this in there. Like, it's such a great tool. And again, yes, that's what you brought up, the business aspect. So again, a lot of traditional human design mentors and whatnot are to learn about you and you and you and you only. Well, cool, great, awesome. But I've done a lot of that. That's why a lot of this has made sense to me.
Yes.
I've really deep dived into who I am and soul work and whatnot. But I want to know, how do I serve, we call it your tribe, your vibe of tribe, like how to serve my people the best. Why were the things that I've been doing in my business not working when I thought they were exactly what I needed to do? It's because I'm not serving my people.
That's right. And it wasn't until you looked at it, like whether you're doing this for self-discovery, because you totally can, like just to show up in your life. We just happen to have a lot of business people or people that are they're trying to align themselves so they can align their businesses. But with what you're learning in yours, you can do everything you're doing. You can continue and flourish, but there is an aspect that shows us kind of how we attract our people. And when you start to learn about the people you naturally attract, you're going to attract a whole bunch of people and they're going to be great for you, but you're going to have your little sliver that you're meant to attract. And it's that verbiage. It's the things that resonate with them, that when you start incorporating that in, even on a personal level. But when you start incorporating that in, that's when it starts to come together.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. It's so flexible. Like,
I know.
I nerd out.
I know. And it's one of those things as I mentioned, I do meditate almost daily. And then those are short ones, but I do probably once a week, a really deep, basically hypnotherapy on myself. And I have posed the question like twice now, and the answers haven't quite come through, but I know universe will provide. I have a guide that shows up many times, and she has guided me towards many things. And on the summer solstice, this was a really cool one. I've always known that my spirit animal is a lion. Interestingly enough, my moon sign is Leo. So I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. Okay. But he revealed his name to me that day, which was really cool. I actually did a whole post about it. And it's Haruka, which is a Japanese name. I mean, literally, like, this is a word I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you. Like, he's shown up to me for years, but now to like finally have his name is really cool. And I'm totally fine that he's a male, like, all good. But I have gone to my guides and, you know, I'm like, how do I layer in human design with the seasons of gardening? And like, it's mulling in my head, it's mulling in my soul. I'm a sacral lead generator and a Cancer, a Cancer. So like, we are all intuition. Like, when I say I am literally I respond to my gut. I respond to my gut. And I keep waiting for like the aha light bulb to come through. I know it will come through because universe just has to like allow for that to happen. But I know when that finally does come through, it's going to be like, yes. And it could be as simple as these lives that I'm going to do and the conversations that I'm having with people as time goes on. And it's just so inspiring because, this is my business, but this is my hobby as well. I know you have a really interesting hobby as well. Your photography?
Yes, that's how I started being an entrepreneur. Is I started as a photographer and I used to do the commercial and lifestyle. And then I just I evolved it with whatever I needed with life. So whether I had to juggle 3 jobs or I just was all in on my photography, I've done that. I've juggled it all. And then as I got, COVID and all that stuff, and I was in the house, and even before that, I naturally fell into like VA work before it was called VA work. Just like to say that. But I naturally fell into it because I was naturally networking with people that I was taking photos and helping them with stuff. And so this pattern of mentoring just kind of evolved. But yeah, I did a few years as that, but my photography, I will not let it go. It has evolved. It will be a part. I actually use my photos in what I put out there, other than the odd AI generated thing for like a post or something.
Yeah.
But my solace, I love nature walks and cemetery walks. Those are my vibes.
Yeah.
I'll do random like city walks or whatever with my friend I see her still on the call. And her and I go around. She helps because I go and I land in places when I'm in the zone, getting the shot, whatever is drawing me in. Like, I found myself on top of a mausoleum.
Yeah.
I was on the roof of a mausoleum. I was just like, she had a photo she took of me, and I'm just like on the ledge with no railing, and I'm taking pictures, and I hear her say something like, be careful or something. And I look down, and I'm afraid of heights. And I'm like, I won't swear, but there was some words.
Yeah.
And she got some pictures of me up on there, and I'm like, well, I'm here now. So
Listen here. Oh, I could totally get it though. You're in that moment, in that zone. And that's when you're like the creative flow takes over, and there's nothing that stops that. Yeah.
And sharing I've always had like a unique perspective. So this is where that language, as we start connecting with some of our design, it's like, you're here to bring your unique perspective, blah, blah, blah. But that's something I've always said.
Yes.
And everybody has their own perspective, but I've always said that in my photography posts and all that stuff. And now that I've moved it into like hobby mode, because I am all in on this, but I'm bringing it in. Like, there is going to be something come from all of this because I'm incorporating those photos, because they're just like your garden. Photos are my passion, how I see the world and how I get other people to see the world through my eyes, and they connect. Like, it's just the
photography as a way. I think photography and music to me are the things that do that for me. Like in my house, I don't really have any paintings. I have one painting that my grandma did, but everything else is photographs.
Yeah.
Like that's what needs to fill. And they're either photographs I've taken, or I have family collages of people throughout before I was born all the way through now. Yeah, and nature photography as well. I'd love to do more. It's kind of a hobby that I know I'd probably get into great, but I'm also like, there's too much to do here. Like my whole family golfs. I'm like, guys, I don't have time to golf because I garden. Like it's again priorities. And I do have a dog. We talked about that. She's old. Giselle is at least 12 and a half years old. She's a German Shepherd. And so we're in old dog senior life.
Yep.
We recently went through that. I've been in it for years because I had another dog before her that was old dog senior life. And he lived to 14, beautiful life and whatnot. I also had a cat that lived till 19. So I'm like, okay, I get old animals. So I'm in old, like we don't go on adventures anymore. Like I miss going on hikes with her, but on the flip side, by next year or sometime next year, I will be getting another German Shepherd puppy, which ask me then I'll probably want to be like, why did I do this to myself? But
I'll be here for you.
Yeah. Oh my God. But then I can go on those fun adventures again. But I do find myself like when that perfect light hits out here, oh my God, I love snapping like close-ups, far away, just random photos. And it's cool. I am proud to say that in any post you see, wherever the platform is, I have never used an AI generated photo. I have never used an AI altered photo. I have never even used a filter. I think one time I accidentally like swiped and did some filter and I was like, why does that look so weird? And it posted that way.
Yeah.
Because again, like through the eyes of me and just my little cell phone camera.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can capture in nature. Like I get it when you're doing like a a stylized family photo, like things need to be edited, lighting and whatnot. But to me, it's like the lighting doesn't have to be perfect because that's nature in and of itself. Nature isn't perfect. It's there's times that, like as right now, when I started out, there was no light. Now it's I go back here. Blinded by the light. I'm not singing. I can't believe I just did that. But it's and that's like again how I connect. Like yes, I am gardening, I'm growing food, I'm sustaining myself, but man, I'll be getting into it further, but I went through some tough times last year, a major breakup. I kicked my partner out and like I was just like, what am I doing? Like now my soul had been screaming at me for a while to get out of this. And then the universe ever so politely dropped like an atomic bomb that was like, here's your out. Here you go. I was like, oh, thanks. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to slowly lead to this. It was like, boom. All right, you're out. Done. See you later. Now I
love that.
And then like laugh. But at the time I was like, what is happening? But the garden got me through it. Like the daily, again, I meditate, but there are so many days that I'm out here meditating. Like I have my meditation pillow permanently out here and I don't close my eyes. I stare at something at the garden. So I'll just stare at it. It doesn't even have to be a guided meditation. I'll just put some type of music on and like just sit out there in it. And then just the repetitive nature of gardening. I think that's something that a lot of gardeners would identify with of there are these repetitive tasks that are somewhat meditative. And I definitely, identify with that. I'm not somebody that like, I go out and I do like something small every day. Now, when we had that heat wave last week, I kind of just I was inside my air conditioning. Like each morning I was trying to do a little bit of calendula and chamomile harvest. And I was like dripping in sweat. I'm like, okay, all right, that's enough at 8:30 in the morning and we're done.
Yeah.
Now kind of getting back out to do with things, but I don't do like the overhaul where it's like, oh my God, I got to go garden for 3 hours today. And it's because again, that's not a design of my life that I want to do. I want to like have it work within. And that's what I try to do again with clients too, is what works for your life? You know, do you have 10 minutes a day, or do you literally have 10 minutes a week? And whatever that answer is what we base their designs on, their installations on, what they're capable of, you know, things like that. But it's also beautiful because I do jokingly say I'm kind of glad I don't live down south where I could garden completely year round, because I darn near come close. So my gardens are planted out. My first, I call it the seasons of gardening. So I have a spring cool season garden, a summer warm season, which is kind of what we all think about with the tomatoes, the cucumbers and whatnot. But then I have another fall cool season here in northeastern Ohio. So I am growing and harvesting. My first garden is planted out at the end of March, beginning of April. But obviously those seeds I'm starting indoors at the end of January, beginning of February. And then I do harvest all the way through the holidays. So I almost am gardening completely year round, but yes, there are times when more stuff needs done, less stuff needs done. You're just planting or whatnot, but it's that reconnection. Like when someone asks me like, what's your purpose? I'm like, reconnection to Mother Earth, like hands down reconnection. And this garden, and I also have gardens out front. I have over 100 square feet of growing space in a little city plot, and and actually this Saturday is great. So I do need to tend to I need to get my grass cut real bad too. But we have something called Garden Walk Cleveland, and it's really cool. It's I think this year there's 12 or 13 Cleveland neighborhoods. I specifically in the West Park Cam's Corner neighborhood, not that anybody here knows that, but if anybody catches it from my other platforms, we do Garden Walk Cleveland. It's really cool, and it's all self-guided tours. And so I open up my gardens. I've done it since COVID, so this will be my 6th year doing it. And I specifically have people that come back year after year. I have people that seek me out because they saw me on a TV segment. There's a local news channel here that graciously has me on several times a year. We do live shots from the gardens. This is why I'm used to doing live shots from my garden, because I've done a lot of those segments with them. But it's really fun to see some people year after year, or neighbors that have just moved in and they're like, oh my gosh, because they see my gardens out front and now they get to come into the backyard, like the secret garden,
private sanctuary.
Yeah. But it's like, again, Saturday, it's from 10 to 5. It's a long day. Luckily, we're not going to be too hot. But it lights me up the entire day because my profile, my type is all interacting. It's talking about what I love. Mm-hmm. It always results in business, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm not opening up my garden. Mm-hmm. I'm opening up my garden to share what is possible and that other people can get inspired. And that's so much why even coming over to Substack now and expanding the reach and just the connections that are here, the people that are here outside of our community that I'm already finding. Yes. Like, this is so cool. This is the depth I've been looking for, that I was craving and missing. I'm not going to ignore my other platforms. They're still there. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful for them, but come on over to the really cool. I don't know if I want to call it really cool side or the really like dorky side. Like
it's so much better connection. There's deeper connection here. And you're not fighting yet. You're not fighting an algorithm or anything. You're showing up, you're connecting with people. And it is working in our favor because we start having more people introduced to us. Mm-hmm. Like I've never had anything like this before on my stuff. I was just, posting to the void, and I'm supposed to be building relationships.
Out there.
Yeah. And it's like in my previous mindset, it was like you got evergreen content that goes out to keep the lights on. And like, I have that. But I want to build the connections. I want to talk to the people. And for me, I need to talk and respond to people so that I can get the inspiration. I can only do so much behind a computer desk, which is how I like to be. If I, hermit in like I do like to hermit. But pardon me, when I'm doing all that, like on here, I get feedback from people, and it has like helped me with 3 different blog or podcasts and then posts. Like I've done more in like a month and a half than I have in this past year. Like I did self-study in the past year, and that is very important. But at the same time, the amount of movement that I've had just in this last month and a half. Like,
Yes.
and you have to find your flow. Like everybody has their own flow. And mine is like you, I have to be lit up, but I also need to taper it. I need to like allow when it's not a great day and it's not a great day. It's like it's not meant to happen.
Yep.
And how you're waiting for some information and inspiration to come to you. It's like we want it, and I can push forward, but I'm literally, it's like somebody's pushing against my head, and I'm just,
Yeah.
So it's,
and I know that, you cannot force it. And there are days, again, I literally let my sacral go do this, go do that. Like I might have a list of things to do.
Yeah.
And okay, we're humans. Like there are tasks throughout the day you just have to get done.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not saying like human design isn't like you get to throw all responsibilities away. You're not, don't pay bills, don't clean, don't cook. Like, no. It's not that. No. But like when it comes to the things that are flexible within the life, like what's going to light you up in that moment, if that's what you need. But there are, again, and I'll be curious as I talk to more people and different types and different profiles of, I also can't wait for my niece to grow up. I found out she's a manifester. I'm like, she just turned 5. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be so fun to watch. My nephew's almost 7. He is a builder as well. He's a 2-4. Like he and I have crazy similarities in our charts. But again, I'm like finding out my whole family's charts, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. My brother is an advisor, a projector. So and that makes complete sense. I'm like, yeah, you are. Oh yeah.
It helps your relationships. It's so helpful. And how to engage with your family, your friends, your children, your nieces, nephews, like that it really can help improve. Like when I use personal side, because it's like when we learn how to do us, once you start learning how to do yourself and like understand all that stuff, you can then look at your family. You can like compare it. Sometimes that lands better. Like to learn, I can learn better if I look at my husband or my family, and myself, I'm like, it'll come in time.
Yeah. And more people are awakening to all of this. And it's a beautiful thing to like sit and watch, because we're already kind of 2 steps ahead. I feel like I'm 10 steps ahead in a great way. But I will jokingly say today we were on a call with Julie, and she has said like one of her taglines is like human design saved my marriage. And that always landed weird with me. And hopefully she won't mind me like paraphrasing this, but she was like, let me explain that. It doesn't mean that it's saved. She's like, but understanding and like integrating it again and like being able to take a step back. And I was like, the way she explained it was so great. And then I put in the comments, and I know I'm going to be like, when I'm ready to start dating, I'm 100% going to be the girl that like, so where were you born? What day and what time? Like, I'm 100%
screening.
Maybe not like right away, but yeah. So
that would be hilarious.
And there's a lot of like astrology people out there that do the same thing. So they're like, so what's your
birthday? What year were you born?
And exactly what time? Like, do you have your birth certificate ready? Let's go find that.
Your wallet?
Ask your mom. Where's your birth certificate? Yeah. But, I'm not there yet, but when we get there. But that's also okay. Like, I'll be very upfront about the reason why. But anyhow, yeah. But this has been such a delight. I know there's a few of you on here, and I do want to welcome, if any of you, there is a chat. If any of you have any specific questions for either of us, I'm more than happy to, if you want to drop something in the chat, feel free. I'm looking forward to the recording going out as well. We'll have that posted. Again, this is all brand new to me, so we'll get those out, and also to other platforms. I have my email subscribers. It's a list that I've built and cultivated for several years. So I know that each week when I do these, I send those out on Saturdays as weekly emails. So I'll be sending that to them, this recording. And, again, hoping to, got several of these weeks lined up. So I'll be coming back with different people each week. I'm sure some of the stuff will be like kind of some of the same layers like built in, but it's also really fun. Again, and garden transformations. So right now I'm kind of in that awkward stage of like, if you looked at other people's Instagram or whatever, they're already harvesting this and this. Well, my favorite growing season is my spring cool season, which is like March, April, May. And then like around Memorial Day, I start layering in a lot of my summer crops. So while my tomatoes and cucumbers are growing great, I don't have any yet. Whereas some people, if they didn't have a spring garden planted, they planted them in May, like early May, Mother's Day, which is way too cold, but that's a whole nother soapbox I could stand on. And but I've, again, the seasonality and learning that, like, I love my cool season crops. I'm still got broccoli coming out. I still have heads of cabbage that are forming, but they're not done. But like my much smaller cool season crops like bok choy and stuff like that, those were done a long time ago, and I replaced it with other things. So again, it's always this layer, like human design. You're integrating gardening, you're layering. It doesn't stop. And that's sort of the technique that people really learn from me, is like, it's not a, I always joke that it wasn't George Foreman, it was like the set it and forget it and walk away, whatever that infomercial was. Like, that's not the type of gardening we do over here. It's constantly changing, picking a few herbs today and a few beans tomorrow. And there's times when I have a much bigger harvest as well, but it's more, I know the Europeans have done this more. It's a kitchen garden. That's a term that wasn't really understood here in the States. It's still brand new to a lot of people. And that is meant to be an easily accessible place out your back door, side door, front door, whatever it may be. Again, we're not talking, if you are a homesteader with a ton of land, awesome, cool. I have no idea how you do it. Like, don't ask me. I have no idea. I didn't grow up that way. It's not how I garden. Cool, great. Also, I don't do sourdough. I'm not saying I never will, but I don't need another thing to parent at this point in time, even though it's just me and the dog. But yeah, so it's again, I just this morning was grabbing a few things. I'm like, oh, look, that broccoli is almost bolting, and I harvested that. So it's a lot of fun to like come out on it, not daily, but usually daily, like, oh, look at how that's changed, and then that's ready and whatnot. So again, as these calls and these lives continue, it's going to be an ever changing garden as well. So yeah. And this has been fun. I knew it would be.
It's been a blast.
Yeah. And thank you to those that joined live. We really appreciate it. Again, if there's any questions, drop it in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer anything. And I know, again, Jen, you are excited for your newly launched offer. Let's go ahead and go through those one more time for everybody.
Ooh. Yeah, it's actually very simple. I opened up a new tier on Substack. So people that want to come in, they can come into the I can't even say the name, but I love it. Resonance Room. It's going to have exclusive trainings, monthly motivations, and there's going to be a spot on the couch for everybody as I test, build, and shape things with you, because this is how co-creation in the new era starts. Yep. So if anything that I've personally said like resonates with you, please come on over, find me on Find Your Frequency. You can subscribe for free, or we can go deeper. You can be on the founding member tier and be a part of this evolution as we go forward.
Awesome. I love it. I hope so too. Again, I know other people will watch the replay and get to see that too. And I'll be, all links will be included. Same thing. I've got I've got 2 different paid tiers. The seed plan makes sense. That's the lower tier. And then the Bloom plan, and basically those subscriptions get you, I have a full library access. It's actually over on Squarespace. That's where my original hub is. It's where my website is. My business is called Kelly's Creations in the CLE. So it does take you there, but there's a full library of content, 10 months worth of content, anything from seed starting to what you should be doing each month, as the focal point. And again, my reference point, I'm very upfront about it. I'm Northeastern Ohio. I don't really talk about zones, but I am a zone 6AB. It kind of changes. But again, basically anywhere from Seattle, Minnesota gets a little bit colder, but Seattle, Chicago, even where you live, all the way over to New York and Boston, and then around parts of the UK and France, and Germany, it's all the same all the way around. Because it's seasons. I have all 4 seasons. I experience all 4 seasons. So then again, if you live further south towards the equator, you adjust it based on your seasons, based on what I'm doing in May in my area. If you're further south, you're probably doing that in March or February. So it's very easily adjustable that way. But yeah, I already have 10 months of content in there. And then we're doing chats and we're doing other lives with the Bloom plan, which is the higher tier one, where we're going to do monthly lives as well. It's kind of all brand new. I've had a few people go, why are you re-releasing this in like the gardening season already? I go, because it's ready now. It was ready in the beginning of the year, and I relaunched it on my normal platforms, and to be honest, it dudded out, and I was like, okay, this didn't work. So coming into this community and doing everything new, I'm, that's all right. So those are the paid tiers. There's several different options, and again, I love my PDFs. You'll learn I have PDFs. Oh, you need that PDF, you need that one, you need that one. Great. Download it, print it if you want. Yeah, I've done a lot of PDFs. So, but I'm also going to be doing weekly like Q&A, just podcasts like, hey, what's your question on this in the garden? I'll actually be doing one, I think tomorrow to get the first one out. So yeah, it'll be kind of, again, the evolution, like you just said, like what you're going to be building with your couch people. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Like, let's see where it goes. Let's keep it going and see where it evolves to. So
absolutely. Try, test, observe, and absolve.
I know that my motto isn't fail forward, because that's one of the other ones that's like, nope. And I'm like, well, but that works for me too. I just go like, it's been interesting to see. And it's something you have to acknowledge too. Like, I have business under, like, this isn't all brand new to me. So it is, and I'm not calling it shiny object syndrome, but I'm also like, I am in the heart of gardening season. So it was, Julie's like, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm like, yeah, but I need to sprint to this line right away, because I literally am in the heart of like gardening season. So let's do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it has to be permanent.
No.
Let's do it and see where it goes and see how it evolves, because I'm never one that's like, this is the way I've done it, I'm going to stick with it, and it's the only way. No. Throw it out, change it up. Let's do something different.
Get the feedback.
So I'm also looking forward to that too. So,
exactly. If you don't put it out there, then you can't get the feedback from people. And if it isn't, then it means that you need to look at your Vibe Tribe again and maybe tweak a few things and then put that out there and test and try. And it's safe to do it.
Yes. It's welcomed. And
yes.
That's beautiful as well. So yes. Well, I, again, had a delightful time talking to you. Thank you to those that joined us. Recordings will go out, and I will see you tomorrow inside of the community as well.
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
Every week, I know I'm like, I go on a vacation in a few weeks. Am I actually going to vacation? Probably not. It's a little.
I'm on vacation.
Yeah, you're on vacation, but this doesn't feel like, this doesn't. It's not work. I jokingly say sometimes to people, I'm like, look, I don't get paid for so much of the work that I do.
It's love and passion.
It's passion. And that's exactly what, it's funny. The first few videos I put out, we were like, oh my gosh, your gardens are beautiful. But that wasn't the message that they got. It wasn't about the gardens. It was the passion that I have, the communication style that I have. And that's exactly why I knew lives are a good thing for me, because we're having a conversation, but they light me up no matter what we're talking about. I mean, I do get that. I don't know what my dad is yet, because he doesn't have his birth certificate, but I'm like, we always joke that my dad could talk to a brick wall. And I kind of say the same thing, where I'm like, I probably could, if the brick wall had something to talk about. If it was like, I don't like this mortar joint, I'd probably be able to talk to it about it. So, I can, but it is true. Like, I can converse with anybody if it's meaningful conversation, if there's layers to it. If it's very like, oh, how's this? I'm like, see you later. And if anything, I get a little bit of that, like
the look,
like, what does my outer face say? I need to tame that. RBF.
Yes, expressionless.
Yes, I've been known to do that from time to time. But again, that's all right. So thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I am now a little bit warm, even though I wasn't in the sunlight. Now it's faded, but I'm I love to be outside, as noted, but I also love my air conditioning as well.
Yes.
I'm 100% on board with that. So yes. Thank you again, Jen. First one, we did it. We're done. And I know I have another guest lined up for next week. So I'll be putting that announcement out, and I'm really excited for it. So
awesome. Good luck with your next week one.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for having me so much.
thank you for coming. I know this was I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm just going to do it.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. All right. Bye.
Bye.